Roman Reigns just walked back into SmackDown flanked by the Usos, and what he said about the Royal Rumble should terrify every single superstar on that roster. But here's what's got the entire WWE universe divided right now. His cryptic warning wasn't just aimed at Cody Rhodes or Centimeter Punk. No, this message runs deeper than anyone realizes, and the clues he dropped point to a betrayal so massive that it could literally rewrite the entire WrestleMania season. And if you think you know what's coming, you're dead wrong. The tribal chief didn't return just to reclaim his throne, he returned to expose something that WWE has been hiding from us for months. Stay until the end because the evidence we've uncovered will blow your mind, and trust me, after you see this, you'll never look at SmackDown the same way again. What happened on SmackDown wasn't just a return, it was a statement. When Roman Reigns' music hit and that arena exploded, you could feel the shift in power instantly. But let's talk about what nobody else is discussing: the body language, the positioning, and most importantly, the words he chose. Every syllable was calculated, every pause deliberate. This wasn't the Roman Reigns we saw lose at WrestleMania. This was something far more dangerous, a man who's had months to plan, strategize, and most critically, to watch everyone show their true colors in his absence. The Usos standing beside him wasn't just for show. G and Jimmy flanking Roman sent a crystal clear message to the entire locker room: the bloodline isn't dead, it's evolved. And here's where things get absolutely insane. Did you catch what Roman said about acknowledging the real threat at the Royal Rumble? That specific phrase, the real threat, has sent shockwaves through the WWE universe, and for good reason. Before we break down this cryptic warning, here's a quick trivia question for you. How many times has Roman Reigns competed in the Royal Rumble match throughout his entire career? Drop your answer in the comments below, and let's see who the real tribal chief experts are in our community. Now, let's dissect this warning word by word because every single thing Roman said was loaded with meaning. When he talked about the Royal Rumble, he didn't mention it like every other superstar does. You know, the typical "I'm winning the Rumble and going to WrestleMania" promo we've heard 1,000 times. No, Roman specifically said, there's someone at the Royal Rumble who thinks they've already won, someone who believes their path to WrestleMania is guaranteed. But at Wrestling Zone Insider, we're about to show you why they are wrong. Hold on, we have a quick request for you. We are constantly working to improve our content to earn your love and support. That's why we would truly appreciate it if you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now back to this bombshell. That statement right there eliminates multiple superstars from consideration. He's not talking about mid-carders hoping for a miracle. He's talking about someone established, someone who's been operating like their WrestleMania main event is already booked. And here's the kicker, he looked directly at the hard camera when he said it, which in WWE language means this message was meant for someone specific. Let's examine the suspects. Could he be talking about Cody Rhodes? Possibly, but Cody's already champion, he doesn't need to win the Rumble. Centimeter Punk? Absolutely a contender for this theory, especially given their history and Punk's recent momentum. But here's what got our investigative team buzzing. What if Roman isn't talking about someone we expect? What if this cryptic warning is aimed at someone who's been quietly positioning themselves in the background, someone who's been making moves while everyone's been distracted? The Usos' presence adds another fascinating layer to this entire situation. Remember, Jey Uso had his whole independence arc, his journey of self-discovery away from Roman's shadow. Jimmy had his own complicated relationship with the bloodline structure. Yet here they are, standing united with Roman once again. But look closer at the footage, and this is crucial, their positioning wasn't submissive like it used to be. They stood beside Roman, not behind him. That's a massive detail that most people missed. This suggests a new dynamic within the bloodline, a restructured hierarchy where respect is mutual rather than demanded. And that makes them infinitely more dangerous than they ever were before. A united front built on genuine loyalty rather than fear or obligation. That's the kind of force that can dominate WWE for another historic run. But here's where the Royal Rumble warning connects to all of this. Roman mentioned with multiple times during his promo, not I. He said, we are coming for what's ours, we will show the WWE universe the truth, we will expose the pretenders. This collective language isn't accidental, it means the bloodline is operating as a unified strike force with a shared mission, and that mission apparently involves revealing something at the Royal Rumble that will change everything. Now let's venture into controversial territory, and this is where things get really interesting. Multiple sources, and we're talking credible insiders here, have been whispering about a long-term angle that's been in development since before WrestleMania. An angle so intricate that it requires months of setup and misdirection. Could Roman's cryptic warning be the first official acknowledgement of this storyline? Think about it logically. Roman loses at WrestleMania, takes time away, and during his absence, someone has been consolidating power, making alliances, positioning themselves as the next big thing. But what if that someone has been working with Roman this entire time? What if this whole separation was strategic, designed to make everyone lower their guard and reveal their true intentions? This theory gains even more credibility when you consider The Rock's recent social media activity. He's been posting cryptic messages, engaging with WWE content in subtle ways, and here's the smoking gun, he used the phrase "acknowledge the real ones" in a recent post. Sound familiar? That's Bloodline language, folks. The Rock doesn't use that terminology casually. So picture this scenario: Roman returns with the Usos, delivers a cryptic warning about the Royal Rumble, and at the actual event, when everyone's expecting one thing, The Rock makes his shocking return as the 30th entrant, not as Roman's opponent, but as his ally, as the final piece of a restructured bloodline that's been playing 4D chess this entire time. Here's your second trivia question, and this one's tricky. In which year did the Usos reunite with Roman Reigns to officially form the Bloodline as we know it? Comment your answer below, and let's see how well you know your Bloodline history. But let's assume for a moment that our conspiracy theory isn't correct. Let's look at the more conventional targets for Roman's warning. Centimeter Punk is the obvious choice. He's been vocal about main eventing WrestleMania, he's got massive momentum, and his ego, which he'd probably admit to, makes him exactly the type to assume his path is guaranteed. Roman versus Punk at WrestleMania would be nuclear, a dream match that prints money and generates mainstream attention. Then there's Seth Rollins. These two have history that goes back to the Shield, unfinished business that spans years, and Seth has been hovering around the main event scene constantly. Could Roman's warning be directed at his former brother, someone who's been thriving in Roman's absence? Or, and this is where it gets spicy, what if Roman is talking about LA Knight? Hear me out on this. LA Knight has been WWE's hottest rising star, the crowd explodes for him, and there's been this narrative building that he's the people's champion, the organic fan favorite who will save WWE from established stars. Roman, being the calculating tactician he is, would absolutely see Knight as a threat to the established order, someone who represents everything Roman stands against: chaos, unpredictability, uncontrolled momentum. But here's the real mind-blower. What if Roman's warning isn't about who he's targeting, but about what he knows? What if he's discovered something about the Royal Rumble match itself, manipulation, corruption, a predetermined outcome, and he's positioning himself as the one who will expose it? That would make him an anti-hero figure, someone fighting against a corrupt system, which is a fascinating character evolution from the tribal chief who demanded acknowledgement. To understand the magnitude of this moment, we need historical context. Roman Reigns' championship reign was the longest in modern WWE history, over 1,200 days of dominance. That's not just impressive, that's legendary. His absence left a massive power vacuum that multiple superstars have been scrambling to fill. But here's what separates Roman from everyone else: even without the title, even after losing at WrestleMania, he's still the most talked about superstar in WWE. That's real power, the kind that transcends championships and accolades. And that's exactly why his Royal Rumble warning carries so much weight. When Roman Reigns says something significant is coming, the entire industry pays attention because his track record of delivering on promises is impeccable. Look at his return with the Usos. It wasn't announced in advance, there were no spoilers, no leaked rumors that proved accurate. WWE kept this secret, which in today's age of instant information is nearly impossible. That level of secrecy suggests that whatever's coming at the Royal Rumble is being protected with the same intensity, because if it leaks early, it loses its impact. Everything, and I mean everything, Roman is doing right now is about WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble is just the vehicle to get there, but the destination is the grandest stage of them all. Roman's WrestleMania moments are iconic: retiring The Undertaker, defeating Brock Lesnar multiple times, conquering John Cena. His WrestleMania legacy is already cemented, but here's what drives Roman: he wants to main event WrestleMania again. He wants to prove that nobody, absolutely nobody, is bigger than him in this industry. His cryptic warning about the Royal Rumble is essentially a declaration: you think you know who's going to WrestleMania? You think the path is clear? Watch what happens when the tribal chief and the bloodline disrupt your carefully laid plans. It's psychological warfare at its finest, getting inside everyone's heads before the match even happens. And think about the booking possibilities this opens up. If Roman enters the Royal Rumble, he's instantly the favorite, not the sentimental favorite or the crowd favorite, but the actual favorite based on credibility and star power. Imagine the final four: Roman, Centimeter Punk, Cody Rhodes, and one wild card. The storytelling potential is unlimited. But what if Roman doesn't enter the Rumble? What if his warning is that he doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble to main event WrestleMania? What if he's going to invoke some special clause, some bloodline privilege, or simply assert his position as the top star who deserves the main event spot regardless of traditional paths? That would be vintage Roman Reigns, arrogant, entitled, but backed up by an undeniable track record of success. We can't overlook the Usos in all of this. They are not just Roman's backup, they are multiple-time tag team champions, main event level performers in their own right. Their presence suggests that this isn't just about Roman's singles career, it's about bloodline dominance across all divisions. Could we see the Usos targeting the current tag team champions? Absolutely. Could they interfere in the Royal Rumble to ensure Roman or a bloodline ally wins? Highly possible. Jimmy and Jiz's return to Roman's side also sends a warning to the entire tag team division. For months, teams have been operating without the fear of the Usos destroying them. That grace period just ended. The standard bearers of tag team excellence are back, united with the most dominant force in WWE history, and they are coming for everything: championships, respect, acknowledgement. The WWE universe is split on this return, and honestly, that's exactly what makes it perfect. Some fans are thrilled to see the tribal chief back where he belongs, dominating SmackDown and setting the wrestling world on fire. Other fans are exhausted by Roman's dominance, wanting fresh faces and new stories at the top of the card. Both perspectives are valid, but here's the truth: whether you love him or hate him, you're talking about him, and that's what makes Roman Reigns the most valuable commodity in professional wrestling today. Social media exploded after his return, trending topics, viral clips, debate threads going hundreds of comments deep. Everyone has an opinion, everyone has a theory, and everyone will be watching the Royal Rumble to see if Roman's cryptic warning comes true. That's the genius of this approach: maximum engagement, maximum interest, maximum eyes on the product. So what's the ultimate truth here? What is Roman Reigns really warning us about? Based on everything we've analyzed, the body language, the word choice, the positioning, the Usos presence, the historical context, and the WrestleMania implications, here's our conclusion: Roman Reigns knows something we don't. He's seen how the landscape has changed in his absence, he's identified weaknesses in his rivals, and he's formulated a plan that will shock everyone at the Royal Rumble. Whether that plan involves The Rock, a surprising alliance, exposing a conspiracy, or simply dominating the Rumble match itself remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the Royal Rumble just became must-watch television, and WrestleMania season is about to be defined by whatever Roman Reigns has planned. The tribal chief is back, the bloodline is reunited, and the entire WWE roster should be terrified, because when Roman Reigns issues a warning, it's not a threat, it's a promise. And Roman Reigns always keeps his promises. What do you think Roman's cryptic warning means? Who is he targeting? Will The Rock be involved? Drop your theories in the comments below. We read every single one and love seeing your perspectives. Don't forget to check out our other videos breaking down all the latest WWE developments, and we'll see you in the next one. Remember, when it comes to insider wrestling analysis, there's only one place to be, and you're already here. Until next time, keep acknowledging greatness.